Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. I am honestly so thrilled you're here today because we're tackling one of the most exciting, but frankly, kind of intimidating milestones in life, mastering that very first paycheck. If you've just started your career and you're staring at your bank account wondering how on earth to manage this new influx of cash, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going to act as your personal financial mentor and walk you through a totally foolproof framework to help guarantee your financial freedom right from day one.
It's an incredible feeling, right? You put in the hard work, you landed the job, and boom, that first real paycheck finally hits your account. But let's be real for a second. That rush of new money can quickly turn into a pretty overwhelming feeling. Without a solid plan in place, those dollars have a funny habit of just slipping right through our fingers. Well, our main goal today is to change that narrative completely. We're going to teach you how to give every single dollar a specific purpose, turning any of that initial anxiety into lifelong financial confidence.
So here is the step-by-step blueprint we'll follow today. We'll start with your first paycheck roadmap, then move into the 50-30-20 rule explained, followed by separating needs from wants, building your future wealth, and we'll wrap it all up with avoiding common budgeting mistakes.
All right, let's jump right into part one, your first paycheck roadmap. We really need to set up a system that stops your hard-earned money from mysteriously vanishing at the end of the month. To do that, we're going to use the 50-30-20 budget rule. You can think of this as your financial GPS. It's a remarkably simple framework for dividing your after-tax income into three distinct buckets. What's brilliant about this is how it helps you spend wisely, save consistently, and completely bypass financial stress. And honestly, the best part? It's totally spreadsheet-free. You don't need any accounting skills or complicated software. It's absolutely perfect for anyone handling their first real income who wants to take immediate control.
Moving right along to Section 2, the 50-30-20 rule explained.
Let's dive right into this three-part framework and see how it actually works in real life. Picture your income as a pie, divided into three very specific slices. Your needs take up half the pie, so 50%. Your wants take up 30%, and your savings and investments make up the final 20%. This really highlights that balance is the ultimate goal here, not restriction. You aren't cutting out everything fun. You're just creating a balanced, sustainable pie.
Here's how you'd chronologically allocate that new paycheck using this exact breakdown. Step 1 is always covering your needs with that 50%. Step 2 is giving yourself permission to enjoy your wants with the 30%. And Step 3, which is absolutely non-negotiable, is securing your savings with the final 20%. Following this exact order, make sure you cover your bases, enjoy your present, and protect your future.
To make this crystal clear, let's ground this in a real-world example. For the rest of this explainer, we're going to use an anchor number of $3,000. Let's assume this is your monthly, after-tax, take-home salary. This is the money that actually hits your bank account after Uncle Sam takes his cut. Let's see how our rule applies to this $3,000.
Applying our first step, 50% of your $3,000 income equals $1,500. This is your needs slice. Needs are those essential, must-pay expenses: rent, utilities, basic groceries, transportation, insurance, healthcare, and minimum debt payments. Now, why does this matter so much? Well, a lot of people struggle financially because their basic living costs consume way too much of their income. By keeping a firm lid on these essential expenses at $1,500, you prevent constant financial pressure, and most importantly, you intentionally leave room for the rest of your life. Now for Section 3, separating needs from wants.
A super critical skill here is untangling what we absolutely must pay from what just makes life enjoyable. This is where we clear up the most common rookie budgeting confusions. On the needs side, we have basic survival stuff, standard groceries and a basic phone plan. On the want side, we've got restaurant meals and that brand new flagship smartphone. You see, the key to making this entire system work is brutal honesty about what is truly a necessity versus a lifestyle upgrade. You need to eat, but you want sushi. You need to make calls, but you want the phone with the titanium finish and 3 cameras.
Once you've accurately pinned down those wants, you allocate 30% of your income to them. In our $3,000 salary example, that equals $900. Think about that. You have up to $900 every single month for dining out, streaming subscriptions, vacations, shopping, hobbies, or the gym. A successful budget allows for guilt-free enjoyment. It really shouldn't feel like a punishment. You can and absolutely should enjoy your money, just as long as it stays within this balanced boundary.
Let's shift gears to Section 4, building your future wealth. The crucial point now is shifting our focus to the final, and I'd argue most important piece of the puzzle. This is the 20% slice, and this is exactly where wealth is built. This money is set aside for emergency fund savings, retirement accounts, investments, debt repayment that goes beyond the bare minimums, and even education or skill development. The tragic reality is that most people spend first and then just try to save whatever happens to be left over, and usually there's zero left over. This framework completely flips the script, ensuring that financial security becomes a hard priority, not just a fleeting afterthought.
So doing the final math for our $3,000 salary, that 20% comes out to $600. That's $600 directed every single month toward building your long-term wealth and security. If you automate this, like literally set it up so this $600 moves out of your checking account the exact moment your paycheck hits, you are virtually guaranteeing your future financial freedom.
Now, let's put this all together and prove how realistic and flexible this framework truly is. Let's look at a slightly different comprehensive example. Someone named Sarah, who takes home $4,000 a month. Her 50% needs total exactly $2,000, and that covers $1,200 for rent, $200 for utilities, $300 for groceries, and $300 for transport. Her 30% wants total $1,200, funding her dining, entertainment, shopping, and streaming. And finally, her 20% savings allocates $800, perfectly split across an emergency fund, investments, and retirement. By breaking down everyday expenses line by line like this, Sarah is successfully covering her necessities, having fun in her day-to-day life, and steadily building wealth all at the exact same time.
Finally, let's cover Section 5, avoiding common budgeting mistakes.
To maintain this incredible new system and actually stay on track, we need to set up a few guardrails. Here are the 3 biggest traps you've got to look out for. Trap number 1, confusing wants with needs, which we touched on earlier. If you start justifying luxury items as necessities, you'll break your 50% limit in a heartbeat. Trap number 2, ignoring the savings category. Please, don't get so caught up in organizing your spending that you neglect that 20% wealth-building slice. And trap number 3, which is probably the most critical, not tracking your spending. This entire rule literally falls apart if you don't actually know where your money is going. Regularly tracking your expenses is an absolute necessity here.
But as you start tracking, keep this core truth in mind. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is balance. What if your expenses don't fit the rule perfectly right out of the gate? Don't stress. This is a guideline, not a strict law. If you live in a notoriously expensive city, your rent might naturally push your needs slightly above 50%. Or, if you're aggressively trying to pay off high-interest debt, your savings and investment category might temporarily jump way higher than 20%. That is totally fine. You can adjust the percentages to fit your unique situation, just as long as you keep saving and investing as your core priorities.
I really want to leave you with this incredibly empowering quote straight from our source material. Budgeting isn't about restricting your life. It's about giving your money a purpose. This is the exact mindset shift you need to make today. Budgeting isn't a chore. It's not a punishment. It's the ultimate tool for achieving long-term freedom. You honestly don't need advanced investing knowledge to succeed. You just need a plan.
And that wraps up our explainer. But I want to turn this over to you with a final provocative question to spark some immediate reflection. Do you currently follow a budget? And if so, what method works best for you? Let's get a conversation going. Drop your thoughts, experiences, and strategies in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today. And hey, here's to mastering that very first paycheck and building a future of true financial freedom.